Good morning, friends. I actually got in about an hour early because I just am checking through the last of my subscription customers. Yeah, it's my last pick that I will do at the store. So this is my final week at the bookstore. It's Tuesday and I move on Saturday, so Thursday will be my last shift. Just so Friday I have time to get everything ready for the big move on Saturday. So yeah, like I said, I write a little blurb for each person. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of, I'm very emotional, so it doesn't take me a lot to start feeling melancholic in some type of way. But yeah, the picks for this month were The Performance, The Word for World is Forest by Ursula Le Guin, Permafrost, Optic Nerve, and of course I had to do a plug for my two recent favorite reads. So yeah, it's kind of, bittersweet. I'm just so excited to move and kind of get settled into my new place, but that obviously means the end of my Vancouver chapter, at least for the next 3 years, which is scary but exciting, like I said. So yeah, I suspect that I will get quite a few deliveries today. So I'm gonna gear up for that. I'm reading Trust by Hernan Diaz at the minute, and I am eating it up. It is so fire and just super cool in its form. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, welcome to another reading vlog. The last, really, for real this time, the last vlog at the bookstore. Look at all the fun that awaits. I actually said my preliminary goodbyes to the sweet mailman that I've known for 2 years, and it was kind of sad. I will miss him dearly. He's just the sweetest. But yeah, lots of unboxing to do and receiving. So I'm not gonna do another me receiving montage. I feel like we're all tired of that, but just know that there will be a lot of receiving today, like I said. Good morning, besties. It is my second to last day. I didn't end up filming very much yesterday. I did that big unboxing, which I saved you from the unboxing reel because we've done way too many of those. I am currently about to submit a really big order, but just for fun, I do love a little stalking sesh on Goodreads of my favorite authors that happen to do or disclose their recent reads, and I just love to periodically give a good little browse. So my go-tos are Melissa Broder, and I've now added another one to my roster, the author of, what is the book called again? Ppl Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl. I'm stalking that author's Goodreads and we have very similar tastes, because that book I actually ordered for myself, the last one that I'll order, because yesterday these super cool kids, they're in grade 12, so they're not kids, but super cool, just their reading tastes were amazing. I was not reading Detransition Baby and Audre Lorde at the tender age of 17. That's for freaking sure. So anyways, we were talking about Detransition Baby, and she recommended Ppl Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl because that author had blurbed Detransition Baby, and that's how she got to reading Tori Peters' work. And yeah, it was just so awesome. That's the biggest thing that I'll just miss so much, is just lovely conversations with folks that I cross paths with because of my job. So I finished Trust, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to review it there's like a gajillion reviews out there, especially now that it's long listed for the Booker, so I'll spare all of you because I don't think I have anything worthwhile to add to the conversation, but I did really like it. And now I'm reading, back on my trippy bullshit, I'm reading The Opposite House by Helen Oyeyemi. We know what I went through to get this copy, and I kind of forgot about it. And while I was packing my bookcase, well, I'll show you what the state of my house looks like right now. It's very chaotic. So like I was saying, this is the state of my home at the minute. I've got boxes everywhere. All recycled from work, so just one of the many perks of being a bookseller. You get unlimited amount of boxes that are in pristine condition. So I really took advantage of that, and all of the like wrapping paper or bubble wrap that sometimes the books come in, it's all just been put to amazing use. So I'm super thankful for that. But anyways, it's the same day. I just was so busy at work. The bookstore is a whole other vibe in the summer. Like, I wish it was like that all the time, because there is just like a flux of people coming in at all hours of the day. So it just makes it really tricky to like film while I'm like actually working, you know? So yes, we are back home, and I just had to run to shower because today is just like so hellishly hot that I just had to have a cold shower. So here we are. But I did write some little notes about the book I'm reading, which is The Opposite House. Like I was saying, I looked high and low for this book, and it came as a recommendation from Oyeyemi, whose work I just absolutely adore. And in their memoir, they cite Helen Oyeyemi quite a bit, but especially this book. And I thought to myself, if The Opposite House is anything like any of Emezi's work, I'm going to love it. And I was not wrong. There is something about Helen Oyeyemi's work that has this very peculiar, like witchy vibe to it. And I wish it wasn't the end of day and the best I could do is witchy vibe because it's really not doing this justice at all. But there's something so particular about her writing that is like she's casting a spell almost. Like, just the word choices, everything. It sounds like I'm reading something like otherworldly. I don't know what it is, but the way that she's able to craft the like atmosphere and tone of the book and the characters is just so impressive. So let me tell you about what I know so far. So I'm only on page 61, so it's not much, but I didn't want to read the little like slip to get more of an idea because I've semi-forgotten from the time that I purchased this. So I kind of like going into books like that these days, just not knowing just enough, you know? So yes, the main character, her name is Maha, and she and her family have immigrated to the UK from Cuba. They immigrate when she's about 7 years old. Now she's in her mid-20s. She's a singer and she is pregnant. She lives with her parents still in this house called the Somewhere House. And we're kind of introduced to her family life as well as a little bit of her Cuban heritage. Her mom, her parents are quite like opposing, diametrical opposite figures because the dad is very much rooted in reality, rationality, very like practical, and the mom is the opposite. She's very religious, but she follows Santeria or like Yoruba religion. So it's all about like spells and working with herbs and praying to different Yoruba gods and things like that. So there's a bit of a clash there. And yeah, we're kind of exploring this little pocket of like Cuban diaspora, which I find really interesting, just reading immigration stories. And some of the things that Maha discusses in terms of what she coins her Cuba, I find super interesting, and I find a lot of parallels with my own life because she makes it very clear that the Cuba that she yearns for and that she remembers is kind of a fiction of her imagination at this point because she left when she was so young. I too feel really similarly when I think of Venezuela, and the Venezuela that I left behind when I immigrated when I was 8 years old is vastly different than the reality and the Venezuela that exists today. And I almost want to preserve at all costs that very fragile and fleeting, not even fleeting actually, that's not true because it's very present in my mind, but just, yeah, a conception of a place that is not representative of the true realities, but in your mind, it's
just as pure and as real as the real. Does that make sense? So anyways, there's a lot of passages so far about that kind of like dichotomy or binary of like real versus not real that I just have found super compelling and I just love to read about. And again, in typical Oyeyemi fashion, we need to have some sort of like eerie, weird fuckery happening. So I've seen a little peek of it. I'm not sure where the story is going to go entirely, but Aya has something that she calls her hysteric, and that's the label or the name that she is given another part of herself that comes up from time to time, and that is the kind of like irrational, violent, erratic self that manifests depending on how she's feeling and where she finds herself in the world. So we're seeing this kind of hesitation in terms of her unborn child and whether they're gonna embody this like hysteric or if they're gonna represent more of the other Maya that exists within. So there's that psychological aspect of her books, at least I'm just judging this based off of White is for Witching, which is the only other book of hers I've read, but something tells me that that's a through line that you can see throughout her work. But yeah, this book is so far just tapping into all the things that I'm curious about and that I enjoy to read about very much. And she's obviously just a master and just doing such a great job at exploring these themes that I'm interested in. So yeah, we are vibing hard. Again, I'm trying to sneak in like reading here and there, but in the next 3 days, I'm mostly just gonna be like at work, probably really busy, and then just packing away my house. But I'm really excited. I don't know, it hasn't really sunk in yet that I will not be coming back to this place. I'm just like really looking forward to kind of making the new place my own, but I'm sure I'll have my sad girl moments because God knows I am one sentimental gal. But yeah, so follow along. We shall see where this vlog takes us. It might be a bit delayed in terms of like uploading just because after the move comes the like unpack and all that fun jazz. But loving the opposite house. I'm really just vibing and leaning into these pretty like non-traditional stories that have just been so captivating and just so much fun to be in this world. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. I am going to make some dinner and then pack. One thing that I will say that I forgot to mention that is like kind of irritating me a little bit, but like I'm gonna excuse it, like it's okay, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but Oyeyemi does weave in some Spanish sentences or like Spanish phrases and words. Some are like spot on, but others I'm just like, girl, like you don't know Spanish, do you? And whoever edited this also doesn't know the language very well, especially like the Cuban lingo. I'm just like, nobody would say this. Like literally no Latin American Spanish speaker would ever say the sentence. Like not one. But it's fine. Like it happens. I get what she's trying to do. Like it's obviously cool when they're trying to bring in another language and you know, they're trying to impress you. But I just wish they would have like hired some proofreader or somebody that like knows Spanish, and it would have been even better if they were Cuban or knew Cuban slang. But what can you do? Like, it's okay. We're gonna excuse her, girl. This happens. All good. Okay, that's all.
So the last day is upon us. I took my sweet time biking to work today because I won't ever do that bike ride or that route again. So yeah, it was super lovely. I am just relaxing. There's not a whole lot to do. The packages have not arrived yet. I've organized the store, so I'm just doing my little author stalking that I mentioned yesterday. And because I'm reading Helen Oyeyemi, I figured, let me see what books she's recommended or speaks really highly of. And so I found this book that they said, and I quote, changed their worldview. And it is a book of essays by Mueller called Walking Through Clear Water in a Pool of Painted Black. Now, I have not heard of this individual, but from my preliminary search, I am sold. This is giving me like Eve Babbitt's meets Eileen Miles vibes, and I'm all for it. And coincidentally, this edition that I'm about to purchase has an introduction by Olivia Laing, and actually I am gonna go home with Funny Weather because I heard Katie James' review of this. I will link her channel down below. I just love her. But anyways, yeah, she spoke super highly of this and I was sold. When I'm in the mood for nonfic and essays, this is what I'm probably gonna pick up. But anyways, yeah, it's just such a quinky dink that the introduction, like I said, is by the same author. So I took it as a sign. There's something so fun about researching your author's favorite books or what they're reading as of late, because you find out little gems like this, because I've never heard anyone discuss this collection, let alone this author, but they sound pretty freaking cool. So we'll talk about that eventually when it's in. So I'm moving on Saturday, but we are coming back to Vancouver on Monday to like clean up our place and spend the last little bit of August here. I just won't be working, but I will come in to pick up the last 3 books that I'll purchase with my discount. I bought I Love Dick because I've been meaning to read that book / just have it in my collection for a long time.
Okay, friends, that is a wrap. The day has come to an end. I got abruptly interrupted when I was telling you my last order. Ppl takes the shape of a mortal girl or something like that, based on a lovely customer's recommendation. So yeah, today was actually quite mellow, which was nice. I got to do a little bit of reading and do the last bit of processing. And yeah, I can't believe it. She's looking beautiful. I did an extra thorough clean and I'm just trying to leave her as pretty as she can be. I swear I'm not coming back here. This is not gonna be a reoccurring thing. I hope you have enjoyed the time in the store like I have. It's just been such a lovely way to spend the past 2 years, and if anybody out there is thinking of going into bookselling or trying it out, I 10 out of 10 would recommend it. It's been such a lovely job and experience. So yeah, off I go. I'm gonna ride my bike home and do the last bit of packing, because tomorrow we're just gonna disassemble like our bed, the bookshelf, Charlie's desk and things like that, and then we're ready to go. I think I might do a little bit of vlogging while I move. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna end the vlog here, so keep on watching. So I am just relaxing here. I know, crazy. The day before and we are relaxing. I'm actually about to leave to go to my parents' house because they are hosting us for a little goodbye dinner. They're coming with us tomorrow to help us out with the move, which I'm just so appreciative and love them so much for it. So yeah, this is the state of my house. I know you're probably like, that looks like you still have a lot to go, but I swear everything is packed that needs to be packed. Charlie's desk is staying. That's why it looks like we haven't done anything to it, because we haven't done anything to it. I literally just sat down to read like 5 pages, so I have nothing really to report reading wise, other than the fact that I am now reading from the perspective of the other individual that lives in the house, and they are the like spirit, I guess you could say. Yemaya is their name, and yeah, so I'm literally just dipping into this new chapter / like POV, so I don't have much to report, but
yeah, just wanted to let you know that the spirits are high. We dropped Boo Boo off at my bestie's house, Kelsey, who has just been such a lifesaver, and her family loves Boo Boo, which is just like, sorry, my hand is getting kind of my hand is getting kind of tired, but yeah, her parents love Boo Boo, so it's just simpler for us to leave Boo Boo at their place over the weekend so that we can load the U-Haul, unpack, blah blah blah, and kind of do all that without having to worry too much about the kitty. But we will be back on Monday, back to Vancouver up until the end of the month, so we'll pick him up on Monday. So yeah, if you're wondering, that's where he is. So he will only be doing the 4-hour journey once, because we just thought it would also just be too much for us to bring him, stay there until Monday, and then come back and then have to do it again on the 31st. So yeah. Anyway, this is my house. Sorry. I can't believe it. She's been so good to us. We've been living here for 2.5 years, and it's just so lovely. But I am so excited for the next chapter. Hello friends. So we are in a new place. We've got a new background. It's been a minute since I last talked to you. I have moved permanently. We had a bit of a hectic week and a half. We went back to Vancouver to like deep clean our apartment and kind of just tie up the loose ends, but you never realize just how much stuff and shit you accumulate until the time comes that you have to move it all out and completely like deep clean your old place. So yeah, it was quite a process, but I just feel so relieved to finally be here and just start nesting and just finding places for all our things. As you can tell, it's like more or less there. But yeah, it's just been kind of a long, drawn out process, but I'm just really thankful to even have this gorgeous place and to feel really settled and really happy in my new college town. As for bookish updates, I did finish The Opposite House by Helen Oyeyemi. Now I must say that that reading experience was like the most scattered and jumbled experience ever. I don't think I did that book justice. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more had I dedicated some solid, uninterrupted reading hours, but that was the book that I chose to read while all this chaotic move was happening, and it was a book that I felt like I wanted more of. I feel as though like half of the book fell during the move and I lost like a big part of the story just because there were so many interesting concepts and ideas that Oyeyemi brings forth, but I don't think that the follow through or the execution was there 100%. Like I said, we follow Maha and her story and what it means to settle in a new place and have that kind of like hybridity and
ambiguity in terms of nationhood and that yearning for a place that you never really called home. Yeah, I was just doing so many just super thought-provoking things, but there's my cat. But I just wasn't overly satisfied with the exploration of the themes and topics that were brought up in that book. I also found, like I mentioned previously as well, the dichotomy between the two forces that were her parents really compelling, but we don't really see a resolution there either. And the other voice that we hear from the story, which is Yemaya, who is the gal that travels through the summer house to Lagos and London, to be like not super fleshed out. And I would have rather just heard from Maha and her story without having to bring in this other voice, because there was just so much to work with and just so much like ripe, delicious like fruit that we could have picked instead of focusing on this other story and giving pages to that. I feel like they could have been two entirely different novels and they would have been just great standalone pieces. So yeah, it left me kind of dissatisfied. There were some beautiful sentences. I mean, I'm still just really blown away by Oyeyemi's just talent, and that was really enjoyable, but this book itself was not quite what I hoped for. But again, I could have also just been a bit confused and a bit just like, because I was just like dipping in and out and it was just not enough to kind of keep me in it, you know? But anyway, as for my current reading, I just picked up, to be honest, after I finished that, I have not bothered to pick up a book. I've just been elsewhere. But I did start I Love Dick by Kraus, and I'm already obsessed, to be honest. Like, I am underlining left, right, and center. The opening by Eileen Miles really just set the tone. Yeah, I'm only 33 pages in, but I know that I'm really gonna love this. Just such delicious, delicious sentences. I'm obsessed. So that's my current reading material, and Penguin Random House Canada so generously sent me Rabbit Hutch by Tess Gunty that I am really looking forward to reading. It's got some really great reviews and it just sounds quite interesting. I believe this is already out, actually, so this is not an ARC. But yeah, so this just arrived in the mail today and I'm super stoked to dip into this. So yeah, I think I'm just going to conclude this very jumbled video right here. I hope you enjoyed seeing the little snippets of my move, and yeah, we'll see each other soon. I feel a lot more settled and I have a week and a bit of my summer left, so hopefully I will see you very soon with something else, and I hope you're having a really lovely week. Bye.
Ignore the frizz, but I'm just editing and I got an email of the bookstore's newsletter, and they're so cute because they said, "We also said farewell to our incredible creative associate Ignacia, who heads off to law school this fall. We'll miss Ignacia's vivacious energy, warmth, and terrific literary recommendations, but are so excited for her next chapter. Congratulations, Ignacia." Oh, it's so bittersweet to close one chapter and start another one. So yeah, what a sweet message to receive as I'm editing this video about me closing the Vancouver chapter, at least for now. So anyways, on that sappy note, I'll leave you for real. But yeah, I'm just in my feels and I can be very emotional. So yeah, anyway, thank you all for just watching me and sticking along. I really hope that I can continue to do this while I'm in school, because it's just brought me so much joy and fulfillment that I just want to hang on to. So anyways, yeah, love you all. On that sappy note, I will see you soon. Bye.